Of course she got the house. She's not a waiter, my mom said, passing my sister the keys. I replied, then let her pay the $72,000 I used to save it. I stopped covering taxes that night. They got the letter on Monday. You always were the helper, not the one who owns things, Mom said without even looking at me, her hand stretched out with the keys, the metal clink cutting through the silence of that dead Sunday morning. Emma took them with a smirk like she'd earned them, like the past 6 years of me working double shifts in a cafe and pouring everything into that house didn't happen. Of course she got the house. She's not a waiter, Mom added, louder this time, looking around like she wanted applause. Her voice was so light, so casual, you'd think she was handing over a birthday present, not my financial grave. I stood there, frozen, coffee-stained apron still tied at the waist from my overnight shift. My hands smelled like milk foam and bleach. My legs ached. My mouth was dry. Then I said it. Calm, direct. Then let her pay the $72,000 I used to save it. Emma blinked, her smile faltered. My father shifted in his seat, newspaper trembling slightly. No one said anything. For once. I turned toward the door, tossed the spare house key onto the shoe rack where it clinked like a bullet hitting tile. I stopped covering taxes last night, I added, quiet but clear. They'll get the letter on Monday. Still, no one spoke. Not Mom. Not Emma. And certainly not Dad, who'd spent the past year telling me how proud he was that at least one of his kids knew how to hustle, as if hustle was just another word for sacrificing your life so the rest of them could coast. I stepped outside and let the cold hit me. It felt better than the heat inside. The thing is, I didn't plan to say that. Not then. I'd rehearsed versions of that line in my head a dozen times before, but I always swallowed it down. Until she handed Emma those keys, like it was natural, like it was just how things were supposed to go. But something in me snapped. Not loudly. Quietly. Like the sound of a final receipt printing. Done. They didn't know yet how deep I'd gone. How long I'd been preparing. But they'd learn. Monday. For 6 years, I paid for a house I didn't sleep in. It started with a roof leak. Then the heating broke. Then the taxes were overdue. Every time, Mom called it a small favor, and every time, I wired the money like a fool. $72,000 over 6 years. Not counting groceries. Not counting Emma's debt I quietly erased to protect her credit. They called it help. I called it obligation. I'm a waiter. Nights, weekends, holidays. But I pick up freelance gigs too, photography, copywriting, dog sitting, whatever paid. No vacations. No real weekends. No cushion. Every extra dollar went into that house. Because Mom said, we're building a future. Because Dad said, real men take care of family. Because Emma said, you're so lucky to not have real responsibilities. And I believed them. What I didn't know, what I couldn't let myself know, was how long they'd been planning to cut me out. It started leaking through in little ways. Mom would talk about Emma's home when guests were over. Dad said things like, when Emma settles in, she can finally start a family here. Family. Right. Like I wasn't part of it. But the moment that cracked the dam was a Facebook post. It was a picture, Mom, Emma, and my aunt standing in front of the house, holding a sold sign like they'd won the lottery. Caption, a new chapter for our girl. So proud of Emma's first step into independence. I stared at it for 20 minutes, the coffee at my cafe shift going cold in my hand. First step? Into independence? That house was in foreclosure when I stepped in. Dad had burned through savings on his consulting phase, and unpaid tax penalties were stacking like bricks. They didn't mention me. Not a tag. Not a name. Not even a thanks to the family support. Like I was a ghost that paid the bills. Then Emma sent me a voice note that pushed everything over the edge. I still have it. Look, I'm sorry you feel like you contributed so much, but you weren't building anything. You were just keeping things alive. That's not the same. I'm the one with the vision. You're just support. I laughed when I heard it. Not because it was funny, because it was honest. They finally said it out loud. I was the mule. The wallet with legs. But the Rael bomb dropped 2 weeks later. I was cleaning out my apartment and found an old flash drive Emma had begged me to back up for her years ago. I'd forgotten about it completely. Plugged it in while dinner cooked. There were folders labeled by names. Mark, Timo, Dad, taxes, me. I opened me first. Inside? Screenshots. Edited texts. Voice memos. Fabricated conversations of me calling her abusive. A doctored email thread where I demanded repayment with threats. Photoshop levels of lie. All organized like a portfolio of destruction. Date stamped. Indexed. She had been building a fake history of me. Preparing for something. For this. And then I opened taxes. That's when my stomach flipped. Inside were PDFs, years of tax forms, 2 of which had my name forged as financial contributor for a family business that never existed. One had my national ID attached. I never signed them. I never saw them. Dad's name was there too. But his signature looked scanned and copied and pasted. They'd used me. Not just emotionally. Not just financially. Legally. The next morning, I called a lawyer I used to serve double espressos to every Tuesday. I sent her the files. She called back 2 hours later. This is fraud, she said. And if your name is on any official submission, and you didn't authorize it, they're looking at criminal exposure. Exposure. I like that word. I wrote a message to my family group chat. Starting Monday, the house expenses are no longer my responsibility. If Emma owns it, she owns the taxes too. Best of luck. Not a single reply. Until Dad called me at 2 a.m. Drunk. Slurring. You ungrateful person. You think you're better than us because you played accountant? You think this is your money? You owe us for your childhood. That's when it hit me. He believed that. They all did. That I owed them for being born. That everything I gave was just settling a debt. So I decided to collect mine. I started digging. I went back through my emails. Old chats. Bank records. I compiled a timeline. A pattern. And then I found something I hadn't expected. Emma's real job history. The one she hid from everyone. She wasn't unemployed in 2020. She was doing freelance crypto consulting for a client later charged with laundering. Her accounts got flagged. And guess whose name she used to set up the first wallet for testing? Mine. That same week, she posted a photo with the caption, "New chapter, new keys, same roots. Thanks to everyone who believed in me." Believed in her? I funded her. I protected her. I handed her a house she now acts like she inherited from God. They want silence? They'll get fire instead. Emma's new home celebration was on a Saturday. She called it a small get-together to bless the new beginnings. The invitation came through the family group chat, the same one where nobody responded when I told them I stopped covering the taxes. Funny, isn't it? They still wanted me there. I said yes. But I didn't come with wine. I came with a laptop, a speaker, and the flash drive. They weren't ready. The house looked like a Pinterest board come to life. White balloons. Gold streamers. A charcuterie board laid out like it cost more than my rent. My mom was glowing, offering people Prosecco like she hadn't committed bank-level betrayal. Dad stood near the barbecue, laughing like the proud patriarch. Emma wore white, like it was her wedding. I showed up late. On purpose. Heads turned. Eyes narrowed. Someone whispered, "Didn't think he'd show." Exactly. Emma walked over, all fake smiles. "Oh my God. You actually came. I was worried you were still upset about the mix-up with the taxes." Mix-up? She said mix-up. I gave her a hug, leaned in and said quietly, "You're going to want to sit for this." Then I walked past her, straight to the garden table where the Bluetooth speaker was playing soft jazz. I disconnected it and paired it with my phone. People were watching. Waiting. I opened the laptop, plugged in the flash drive. "Before we eat," I said loudly, "I thought I'd share something. A little housewarming gift." Emma froze. Mom dropped a paper plate. Dad's mouth twitched. "This," I said, "is what $72,000 of loyalty buys you in this family." Then I hit play. The audio started quiet, just some clicking, background hum, a soft voicemail. My voice from an old recording. "Hey, Em, just checking if you got the transfer. Hope it helps. I know it's been hard." Then her voice, spliced from 2 different clips but edited to sound like one. "You're useless. You only help because you're guilty. Don't pretend like you matter." A few people gasped. I let it run. 10 more seconds. Then hit spacebar. "Fabricated," I said. Spliced. I found dozens of these. Emails. Screenshots. Fakes. All saved neatly in a folder labeled insurance. Silence. You could hear someone's glass clink against a plate. Then I opened the next file. A PDF. This is a tax filing from last year. Listed under a family LLC. With my national ID. I didn't sign this. I walked to my father and handed him the printed copy. He didn't take it. So I dropped it on his lap. Forgery. Fraud. Both federal offenses. I spoke to a lawyer. The investigation starts Monday. Now the noise started, chairs scraping, voices muttering. Emma stepped forward, face pale. "You're ruining this day," she hissed. "No," I said. "You did. When you built your new life on my name." Then I turned to the guests. Aunts, cousins, family friends. People who laughed at my jokes once, years ago, before they forgot I existed. For those of you wondering if this is necessary, ask yourselves why they never told you I paid for this house. Why they hid my name, my help, and replaced me with a fantasy of Emma's independence. Then I looked straight at Mom and asked her who wrote the caption on that post. She bought it on her own. She didn't say anything, not even a flinch. But someone else did. From the edge of the yard, a man stepped forward. Mid-30s, sharp jacket, sunglasses hanging from his collar. "That'd be me," he said. Everyone turned. "I'm Alex," he said. "Emma's ex. The one she told you cheated on her?" "I didn't. I left after I found out she lied about everything, including the money for this house." Now Emma did react. She turned red, then white, then started shaking her head like a child caught in a lie. "You don't know what you're talking about." "I saw the documents," he interrupted. "I was the one who helped her print them. Thought they were legit. Until I realized she forged her brother's ID to file them." Gasps again. Someone stood up. My aunt muttered something about needing air. Then Alex said the final blow. "She told me she kept the files in case he ever got annoying. She said she could ruin him with one email." I turned to Emma. "Do it," I said. "Send it. Let's see who burns first." She didn't move, just shook. My dad stood up, eyes bloodshot. He pointed a trembling finger at me. "You've embarrassed this family for the last time." I walked up to him slow, quiet, then whispered, "You used my name to dodge taxes and fund her fantasy. I didn't embarrass you. I exposed you." Then I pulled out a letter. Folded. Sealed. "This is from the Ministry of Finance. They received my affidavit. Starting Monday, they'll be reviewing every family-related claim filed under my ID. That includes the house, your deductions, and the LLC that doesn't exist." Then I handed it to my mother. "You said she deserved the house because I'm just a waiter? Fine. Let her pay the $72,000 then. Or the back taxes." The wind blew through the yard. Someone's drink tipped. No one picked it up. "I'm done," I said, turning toward the gate. I gave everything. And I became invisible. Not anymore. Emma started crying. Real tears. But no one moved to comfort her. Because they all knew what I knew now. This family only loved what it could use. I left the speaker playing on the table. Track number 2 started as I walked to the car. It was Emma again. Her voice, frantic in a memo titled, "Use this if he turns. I swear to God if he ever finds out, I'll say he hit me. They'll believe me. I'm the one they trust." I didn't look back. They heard it. Loud and clear. By Monday morning, my phone had already started buzzing. The ministry confirmed receipt of my affidavit. An investigator had been assigned. The forged documents, the tax misuse, the fake LLC, it was all being pulled apart. I didn't need to prove malice. I just had to show the facts. And Emma had kindly archived all the facts in tidy folders with her own name on them. Emma's housewarming. That wasn't a party. It was the opening scene of an autopsy. And I had just handed the scalpel to everyone watching. By noon, the fallout had begun. Dad posted a Facebook rant, 3 paragraphs long, 0 punctuation. Something about betrayal, about sons who turn against their blood. He got 3 likes. One from a second cousin who probably thought he was talking about politics. Emma deactivated everything. Instagram gone. Facebook nuked. LinkedIn quietly wiped. The house was silent. No new captions, no new grateful selfies in front of the door I paid to keep from foreclosure. That silence. It was the sound of everyone realizing the script had flipped. But I wasn't done. That night, I uploaded the audio. The one from the party. The voice memo. "I swear to God if he ever finds out, I'll say he hit me. They'll believe me. I'm the one they trust." I didn't even have to add commentary. I just posted the file with 1 line of text. "She said this about me. I stayed silent for years. I'm not silent anymore." And the internet? It exploded. Within 24 hours, the post had over 300,000 plays. People shared it, stitched it, made TikToks breaking it down frame by frame. One lawyer even analyzed the audio for authenticity on a live stream. Strangers, absolute strangers, were on my side. DMs came in from people saying, "I live this. Thank you for speaking up." Others offered pro bono legal aid. Journalists reached out. I got a call from a local podcast host the next morning. "We want to tell your story," she said. "All of it." I agreed. We recorded that afternoon. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just spoke. About what it means to give everything and be treated like a walking ATM. About how family sometimes weaponizes guilt and bloodlines. About how I almost believed them. That I wasn't worth anything unless I was useful. I ended the episode with this. They replaced me with my own money. So I replaced them with peace. When the episode dropped, it went viral within hours. I didn't expect that. But apparently, people were ready to hear it. Emma, however, wasn't. She sent me a 3-page email titled, "Please read before you destroy me completely." It started with, "I was hurting. I didn't know how to ask for help. I never meant for it to go this far." Then she asked if I'd be willing to clarify publicly that she never physically hurt me and that her voice memo was taken out of context. I didn't respond. She followed up a day later with a voice note. You don't understand what's happening. My job might drop me. They're talking about pressing charges. I saved it. I didn't reply. Instead, I made one final post. A photo of my new apartment. Clean walls. Bright windows. A single armchair and a coffee table. Captioned, "This is what peace looks like. No keys missing. No names on my paycheck but mine." But the best part? It came 3 days later. A formal notice from the ministry. Dad's tax ID had been flagged. An official investigation had started. All claims related to the family LLC were suspended. They'd contacted his accountant and frozen 2 years of returns. I didn't even feel victorious. I felt free. He tried to call me that night. Left a voicemail. "You made your point. Congratulations. Are you happy now?" He used the same line my mother had used once before. "Are you happy now?" Like peace was a crime. Like self-preservation was betrayal. I blocked his number. That weekend, I launched my website. Not just a blog. A project. I called it Dentless. A digital archive for people who walked away from toxic families after years of financial abuse. A place to tell their stories. Anonymously or loud. With screenshots. With voice notes. With hard drives if needed. Within a week, it had over 20K submissions. People were hungry to be believed. And I believed them. A week later, a journalist emailed me saying my story had sparked something. A movement. And you know what Emma posted when she finally came back online? A photo of her standing on a street corner with sunglasses on and a coffee in hand. Captioned, "People will always find a way to make you the villain in their healing story." I didn't screenshot it. I didn't respond. Because I wasn't healing anymore. I was living. It's been 3 months since I walked away. 3 months since I heard the word family and didn't feel like choking. They haven't stopped trying. I got letters. Long, rambling ones from Mom. One called me emotionally unstable. The next said she forgave me. Like she was the victim. Like forgiveness was hers to give. Dad tried to go public, shared a Facebook video of himself standing in front of the house. "This was built on legacy," he said. "Now my son wants to tear it down." He tagged me. I didn't react. Because I don't care. I don't owe him a reaction. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from an unknown number. It was my aunt. The same one who once laughed in the family chat when Dad posted the video of me fixing his car for free. She said Emma had to sell the house. "Taxes were too high," she mumbled. "They didn't realize how much you've been covering." Didn't realize? Or didn't want to admit it. She asked if I'd consider talking it over with the family. Said, "This has gone far enough." I told her it hasn't even started. I'm done playing humble. Done letting people rewrite the story while I'm still holding the original manuscript. So I did something they never expected. I bought a storefront. Small. Downtown. Bright windows. Above it, I put up a clean, metal sign. "Blood is not equal to bond." Underneath, "Repair. Reclaim. Rebuild." It's not a business. It's a message. I don't fix cars anymore. I help people fix themselves. Legal referrals. Financial planning. Emotional trauma navigation. For kids like me. Adults like me. The ones who gave until their bones cracked and got told they were ungrateful for having bones in the first place. Emma drove by last week. I saw her. She didn't come in. But she saw the sign. A few days later, someone vandalized the storefront window. Red spray paint. One word. Traitor. I didn't clean it right away. I left it up for a week. Then I posted a photo of it with a new caption. "If speaking the truth makes me a traitor, then maybe you were never the country I thought I was protecting." Over 100,000 likes in 2 hours. I got DMs from people across the world. One woman from Berlin said she played the audio from Emma's party for her therapist. A man from Brazil sent a photo of his own front door with "Blood is not equal to bond" carved into the wood. It's not about revenge anymore. It's about reclamation. About telling people, "You're not crazy. You were gaslit. And now the lights are back on." As for me, I changed my number. New phone. New address. No more group chats. No more birthday reminders from people who never showed up when I had the flu or couldn't pay rent or just wanted to be seen. I don't get calls from Emma anymore. Not because she stopped trying. Because she finally understands. There is no access where there is no respect. The day the house went up for auction, I drove by. Not to gloat. To say goodbye. I parked across the street. Watched as a stranger walked up with a realtor, pointing at the roof I'd paid for. I saw them nod. Smile. They had no idea who kept that roof from collapsing. Good. They don't need to know. That house isn't mine anymore. And neither are they. Before I drove off, I left something in the mailbox. No return address. A folded copy of the final transfer of ownership. On the back, in Sharpie. "I'm not the villain in your story. I'm the one who left before it turned me into one. Then I drove to my shop, unlocked the door, flipped the sign to open, and sat down beneath the banner that hangs on the back wall, big and bold. Not family funded. I sip my coffee, lean back in my chair, and smile. Because they can paint me as the enemy all they want. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm free. And that's the sweetest peace there is.